fix this bad boy a little bit because you know me, I can never get my shit together on time. It wouldn't be a tarot and tea stream if I wasn't nastily, fashionably late, number one. And number two, it wouldn't be a tarot and tea stream if I was perfectly set up. Because even when I was perfectly set up on previous streams, something messed up. Anyway, hello. And welcome back to my channel to all my subscribers. And welcome to my channel if you are new. And what is going on in the wonderful world of YouTube today? Who's here today? There's a Fluff and a Flock and a Jedi and a Marianne. Hello, hello. Well, we're going to use that today. We're going to use that today. There's our decks for today. And Florna. Hi, Florna, sis. How are you? I hope everybody is having a good weekend. I know it's holiday weekend and all of that, and you guys are probably out, like, you know, enjoying yourselves because tomorrow is a day off for everybody, including Mr. Fluff, who had his birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to Mr. Fluffy. So if you haven't said happy birthday to Fluff, you should probably say happy birthday to Fluff. I cannot, for the life of me, ever find my box of matches. Yes, I can, because they're right in front of me. Yeah, don't mind me. Don't mind me. I took a week off and I still can't get my shit together. How's that? Look at that. Look at that. I can't even light a match. Ain't life grand, you guys? My nails are like an inch longer than they should be. Life's a mess. But how are all of you? How is everybody? Hey, Jedi. Okay. All right, I think I've caught up with all five of us in the chat. I know that it's, you know, the streams these weekends have low volume people in the chat because people are out enjoying things like family this week, which is, you know, totally understandable and totally acceptable. And I was like, should I go live this weekend or should I just like hold off and wait until like Tuesday? And then I was like, you know, no, like people can always watch this stuff later. It doesn't even matter if they're here tonight. They can be here later. So that was my thought on this. So we're going to go ahead and go down the list of the individual signs as we always do. See, look how gross my nails are. I'm actually running a test though with the person who did my nails. We're trying to see how long they last before they start lifting. And it's been like 3 weeks and I haven't had any lift, but like they're starting to like bug me. They're starting to like, you know, I don't like the women out there that actually get their nails done with like acrylic overlays. Like if it grows out too far towards the plexus, which is the middle of the nail, it can cause like a little bit of like weird pressure and even some damage. So I think I'm getting to that point where like, even though they're not lifting, like I still need to go get them done. Um, but anyway, that's a little tidbit for those that know about like nail care. Oh, hi, Charmaine sis. Hey. Okay, so tomorrow's exciting. Fluff and I are probably gonna go out of town again. We went out of town yesterday. It's been so freaking hot here in Southern California that it's like, ugh, you know, like you don't even want to leave your house. It's like we're having a horrible heat. I know Arizona's having it too. Um, this horrible heat wave. Like August wasn't technically so bad as it could be. It's been worse in the previous years. I know I lived in Phoenix for 7 years and then a summer in Tucson. And like those temperatures can get up there. They can get like in super Southern California, going into Arizona and all that. It can get to like 120 degrees easy in the summer. That really hadn't happened yet until like this last week. Like we started really getting up there in some of those places, and it's like it's so gross outside, you guys. So we went to the mountain area in California for Fluff's birthday yesterday. We went to Julian, California, which is like in you know the mountain area, and they're known for like their pies and for being this old mining town, and It was just to like, get out of town, but he was like really diehard wanting a apple cider donut because they're real popular where he's from in Massachusetts and all along that coastal region. And we don't really have them here because there's not a lot of apple orchards like in super Southern California. And so I told him like, hey, if they have them, we should like go there. And he was like, well, let's go for my birthday. And so we went and it was still like 90 degrees, which is better than 118 or 116 because in LA it got freaking hot over here. It got to like 118, 120 and like I mean, yeah, these were pictures from people sitting in their cars, so like the thermometer thingy goes on the outside towards the asphalt usually, so it's registering those temperatures. So a lot of people were taking pictures of the inside of their car being like super super hot. Hi Cookie Boo and Texas Sean, how's everybody? So we were seeing people taking all these pictures of like how hot it was outside, and it was really really hot, you guys, like no joke, it's been freaking hot. And so we go up there and it's like 90 degrees. So it's like, that was kind of it was a little bit of a break for us, weather wise. But it's supposed to cool off a little bit next week. So fingers crossed for us that we don't die next week from heat exhaustion. Other than that, we're going to be filming our video challenge for the paranormal games that What the Paranormal is hosting. So we have like a couple of locations that we want to go and film those. Oh, there's my awesome Adam. Hey Luke, how's it going? How's everybody? Hope everybody's doing fabulous. And yeah, you guys, it's been unnaturally nastily freaking hot. It has been so hot, and I have a spot in my mouth that I keep biting, and I just bit it right now. Do you guys ever have that where like you bite your lip or something, and then like you keep freaking biting it? That's been me today, but it's this like area in my cheek. It is so painful right now. Um, Cassie says, "Hey sis, how's everybody? Thank you guys for being here. I know it's Sunday night and everything, and so it's really awesome seeing you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. Any hooters. So yeah, we have a couple locations we're probably gonna go try to check out tomorrow and try to film our little 15-minute challenge. It's not a little challenge, but to me it's like, I mean, the challenge is like you have to be in a location and do an investigation in the dark for 15 minutes. It's supposed to be themed after like the 1800s. It's called the 1800s challenge, and all you get is a candle. And if your candle blows out, you only get to relight it one time, I think. And yeah, so we're gonna see how cool this is. Like, Fluff has a really historically haunted location he wants to go do this in, and I think I'm gonna pick something like kind of second best to that. Um, and we're gonna see how it goes. It should be fun. I saw Bat Rikins, and it was awesome. If you haven't seen his, you should go check it out. Go to his channel and see his submission for the 15-minute challenge. And there's a few people that are doing it, and so it should be really really awesome. And yeah, and then Adam, the Paranormal Polynesian's coming to San Diego soon, so be looking forward to that. We're probably gonna go check out some cool locations in San Diego, and I told him we would do a little collab live on location reading with him, and we'll just like have a blast. Like, it's gonna be great. And he'll be in Orange County in like November too, so we're probably gonna go to Universal or something. Like, we're gonna have some fun and some cool things coming up. So no, kitty. My cat is walking on my phone. But other than that, like, I hope everybody's doing well. I know I took a week off from everything. It was probably more than a week. And I'll explain why, and I'm so sorry. And I know like if you're here for the readings, like I'm taking my time, but the beginning of my lives are usually like the tea portion where I actually sit and talk and things like that. So not a couple weeks ago, the beginning of August, like the second week of August, I lost my brother. And in May, I had lost my father. So it was like back to back stuff happening in my life that I hadn't even really processed yet. Ironically, you are going through some tough shit, right? I think that's a lot of us are going through some stuff, you guys. Um, And it's been interesting, because I didn't really give myself time to process anything. I didn't give myself time to grieve. I didn't give myself much time for anything. And I kept on board with my live streams. The only thing that slowed me down is when I caught that fucking virus. And that's the only thing that really slowed us down, where I couldn't do lives. But other than that, I was like, keeping up with things as best I could. And then all of a sudden, one day, you guys, I sat at my desk to turn the camera on to film something, and I just started bawling. Like, I couldn't deal with it anymore. Like, I couldn't deal with anything. Even when it came to my physical job, my day job, which I love, um, I literally could not deal with things. I could not deal with you know you ever had that where you're like, I just can't deal? And I don't get it often, but I got it then. And I was like, it's because I didn't allow myself, like, time to really process anything, because it wasn't by choice. It just happened that way, where I was like, I felt okay, not okay, but I wasn't forcing myself to have feelings that I didn't have yet. And when I finally had them, it was like, wow. Because what got to me was when I started thinking about how holidays were going to be so different this year. Like, my brother's favorite holiday was Halloween, and I kid you not, he's who got me into Halloween as hardcore as I am into Halloween. He did his own boo haunt that was very well known in our town. And it made our family was just really known for elaborate, Halloween displays and stuff like that. Like, we were really well known for it in our local area. And so growing up, Halloween was huge. Halloween and Christmas were huge. And with him being gone, and he's my oldest brother, it's different. It's very, very difficult. And even though there are times where me and him didn't always get along, we honestly didn't see eye to eye when he was, before he passed. And but it's still your family, right? You still got to deal with shit. And now I have to sit back and think, like, uh, I kind of always mentally prepare myself for situations. And I apologize, I'm not really paying attention to the chat too much, but I don't always, I have to, like, mentally prepare myself. So I go through the process of thinking about something, and I get my feelings, like, how, like, I'm imagining it and seeing what my feelings feel like as I'm imagining it. And that kind of gives me, like, an idea of how I'm going to feel about it when it actually happens, right? So I yeah, I had some little moments where I sat and thought about, like, how Halloween would be and Christmas would be, and I was like, I didn't like the way it felt. I was like, I'm not ready for this. And who would be, right? And yeah, it just, and then I'm not gonna lie, you guys, like, YouTube used to be my safe haven. It used to be a place that I would go to when I couldn't tolerate my own freaking life, right? Because I didn't have to bring my personal life. I could leave it behind and kind of just spend a few moments, or a couple hours or whatever, and check out somebody's panel or check out a live stream. And I'd be able to forget. I'd be amongst, like, my contemporaries, people, like, that, are, in the same situation I am in many ways, and yet we're also warm and welcoming, inviting. And then there was so much going on in YouTube that wasn't the same anymore. It was actually in some ways worse than what I was already going through, like, there was so much division and so much hate and so much disdain that I was like, you know what, this isn't a good place for me right now. So I pulled away, and I apologize to the people that, they may have felt like I've abandoned them in some way, minusing my support or anything like that. And it's not that. Hi, Tanya, welcome to the channel. Oh, hey, my vamp, how are you? I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to um pull away. I had to, because I'm very much an empath, and I can understand both sides of every single argument that happens, and I empathize with both sides, even if somebody's really, really wrong, even if somebody's really, really right, vice versa. I still can empathize with both ways. And there is a lot of yuckiness going along, and I see the pain from everybody's side. I see the hurt and the upset from everybody's side, and some people are valid and some people aren't. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, you guys, stop making shit worse than what it is. Okay? And I'm like literally pulling my hair right now talking about this, but just stop, okay? Like there's some of you out there that really, really need to stop. All right? Like I'm not saying any freaking names, but there's people that I support, and damn, you guys, come on. Come on now. Like there is one person in particular, like that my heart goes out to them because um their name's really getting thrown around, and I don't think that's right either. And they know who they are, and they know they have a place in my heart and in my life, and they obviously have a place here in my streams as well, and that should be respected. And you know, as many of you do, like I said, this is a safe spot. Don't make it a bad place, because there's too many bad places. But keep it safe. Keep it, if you don't like somebody, don't talk to them. All right. If you don't even want to look at them, it's easy. Just put the block button. It's okay. But we never know what other people are going through, because we don't walk in their shoes. We don't sleep in their beds. We don't know, right? I mean, I can be in the room next to somebody and I still don't know what the hell's going on in their life, right? But just be kind. Kindness doesn't cost a fucking thing. Minding your own business doesn't cost. It costs even less. But just let people be who they are, and not everybody's gonna be your cup of tea. I ain't everybody's cup of tea, and I'm fucking fine with that. But I don't want anybody to have a worse situation or anything like that than already need be. So, and I can only speak from what I've seen lately, and I, granted, you guys, I don't know everything. I don't know everything. I really don't. I can't say that I do. I've seen a few things, but I don't know everything that's going on. And, and that's because I have been pulling away, because I have been going through some shit. So I don't know everything. I apologize ahead if I'm speaking out of the side of my fucking mouth. But, that's just me. I can only speak for what I know. And, I love you, but I won't fight a battle that you popped your mouth off and started. All right. I won't do that for anybody. So, um, I love you all. Okay. Just know that at the end of the day, Tarot loves you. All right. And she's going to love you no matter how fucked up you are. All right. Because I've been fucked up in my life, and I didn't have anybody love me when I was fucked up. And I know how that can fucking feel. And I know when I'm backed into a corner and pissed off, my mouth can go and I'll say some fucked up shit. So, but is it what I mean? Is it who I am? Probably not. But and there's some times where I tell people, like, I will block you because I don't want you in my life, period, ever again. I won't run your mouth through my lips, but it's because you're basically dead to me. And there's a person on YouTube that I don't run their mouth through my lips, and they used to be. I was fucking ride or die for them, and they just backstabbed me, and that was the end of that. Never again. No way, no how. Um, I have this creed that a snake sheds its skin. People apologize. A snake sheds its skin to become a bigger fucking snake. All right. I don't let certain people back in for that reason. All right. But forgiveness is for me. It's not for the other person. So I have to still forgive. I still have to be like, you know what, you're a human being and you're experiencing shit, and you're just, you're going through life, and none of us got an instruction manual when we showed up here. All right. So we just got to be the best people we can be. And that's why I took a break off of YouTube overall, you guys. I'm probably over explaining myself, but um, I took my break, and Halloween's coming up. That's a really cool season. And it's, it's a good time for all of us, especially those in the paranormal and people like me who, do these, divinations and stuff like that. Like, this is our time. This is us. This is where we belong. This is our platform. We're supposed to be having a great time right now. This is supposed to be an on and poppin' place to be. We're supposed to be showcasing our stuff. By the way, if you have not went and showed the South Cax a shit ton of love right now, you really should, because they got their shit all fucked up through YouTube, which YouTube, I'm coming for you with that one. Um, and I say that just like, I'm pissed at you, all right? They got some of their videos taken down because of copyright for music that they used in it that, I mean, these videos were old, several months to even years, and they finally got they finally took them down for copyright, right? And they're like, dude, why don't you take them down right away if that was an issue? Why wait so long? So they lost views and watch time, and it really put, I mean, as it would to any of us, really put like an emotional drain to them. Like, that's hurtful. That's, they pay money to go to places, expenses for travel, food, lodging, and then sometimes even the cost of the location, and to shoot that one video plus editing and everything. It takes time, y'all. It takes some time, trust me. And it takes a lot. It takes your heart and soul to do this, and for them to kind of fuck them over, for YouTube to pull that, that's shady business. That, no, thank you. So if you haven't gone to the South Cax and hit the like button and watch their videos and and show them some love, because they're OGs. They're some of the first people in the paranormal that I subscribe to, and they're down to earth. And I mean, if you've ever met them, you love them. Like, I've met them in person. They're good people. They're really good people. Um, Good, respectable, moralistic people, and they'll call you out on your shit if you do some shit. That's why I love them. Um, but yeah, just head your ass on over there, click that like button, and show them some love, and let them know that they belong on this platform. We'd like them to stick around because they really do bring really good content. Yeah, I think that's about all the hoopity hoppity shit I got going on. Um, so let's get started with some tarot, some oracle, some readings, because that's what people show up for, right? Not so much the tea part, but I speak my piece every so often. I got to, I gotta say my part every so often. I gotta let people know, like, this is what's going on. This is how I feel. This is what's real. This is a thing. You know. But that kind of explains a little bit of like why I took another break. I took a break not that long ago. Back in March, and then this is my other break outside of the stupid virus because I just needed to. But what's the other stuff going on? Um, you'll see more and more and more and more tarot and tea stuff coming up into October 31st. And the reason why is because I have to hit my watch hours by then, because that's when my rollover date starts, is October 31st, literally. And I'm trying to hit my watch hours. It's just a little personal goal. Like, I'm not really shooting for anything amazing, with monetization and all that. Like, I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, try like everybody else. But it's a personal goal. Like, because when I came out of my divorce, my ex-husband took over, like, got the rights to our previous channel that we had with, we had 50,000 subs and a good following, but because he had more creative interest in the channel, he was awarded the channel in our divorce. And yes, Cassie, we're gonna do some awesome stuff. Don't worry. Like, I got you, sis. Like, it's gonna happen. We're gonna run up that hill together. And so I kind of lost that. I came back to this channel, wiped off all the previous content, tried to start clean slate, and it was just like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, like, you almost have to get yourself in the right flame frame of mind when you're doing YouTube. Like, you have to feel it. You have to, like, want to be on it. Otherwise, it can be a drain sometimes. Like, no joke. And we weren't ready for you to fly out yet. I was talking to the cards. But hey, Kill Hut Bro. So, like, when you're not in the right frame of mind, or when it's just becoming a fucking drag, like, You don't have an invested interest in it, so that's kind of how I was feeling for a hot minute. Any shenanigan and nannies. We're gonna start with Aries.
I just wanted to know, Cassie said if you want her to help you or be a part of the October videos, let her
Yeah, I
know.
saw that. I told her.
Okay.
Told her. There's Fluff trying to, you know, help me out here. We're gonna start off with some Aries, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull a Rebel Oracle card. You know how these like to talk they shit like everybody else in the world. I call this the safe shit. There's some people that talk shit for the sake of hearing their own fucking mouth run. And what we gonna do tonight is we're gonna talk some safe shit. There's no filter in this one. I was just telling Adam that the Paranormal Polynesian, remember, like, we were talking about how, like, when we started our channels, we were like, we're not gonna filter ourselves and yada yada. Then you start filtering yourself because you're like, YouTube don't like a whole lot of this. I want to stick around a little bit. So tonight we're gonna do a little explicit content reading, so to speak. Nothing too bad, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try a little something. So Aries, your oracle card says fuck fear. It will lie to your face. Now, when it comes to fear being that acronym of face everything and run, or what is it? Face everything and yeah, whatever the acronym of, like, you could either face it and what is it? Face everything and reserve or something. I don't remember. I used to know them. They were part of, like, when I used to do AA classes. Like, they had an acronym for fear. I'm sure somebody in the chat knows which one I'm talking about. Um, and then one of them was face everything, and like recover, and I think that's what it was, face everything and recover. So basically, like, you get yourself back by facing something, like you stop giving it what you thought it, like, it's fear is a perception, it's never a truth. Fear lies to you because it's a manipulation of who you are, and what the situation is. That's why we have fear. And fear fear and joy are the same sensation to the body. Going into psychology, you learn that fear and anxiety are the same emotion. Fear and joy is the same emotion based in anxiety, because one of them makes you afraid. Just the simple perception of it, one will make you afraid and the other one will make you really happy. Like when you were a little kid and you anticipated Christmas, didn't you have that kind of, like, nervous, like, I'm jittery, I can't stop thinking about my presents, I can't stop da 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 da. And then, like, it's kind of like when you're getting ready to ride a roller coaster, you get that same anxious feeling, but it's like not a good feeling. That's kind of like how fear is. It's one step from being one side of the other. So you just tell yourself, fear doesn't have place in my heart. It doesn't have I don't have space for it. I don't have space to not face something or let something control me so much just based off of a perception, because we never know how something's going to be, right? So, hi Beth. And I think that's everybody. Okay. So, let's see what's going on. What is Aries, what's going on for Aries that fear is an issue with? Communication. Like, all right, you're not feeling yourself. Like, you are caught up in some fear. And it's because of a conversation that needs to happen. And you know why? Okay, you're nervous about this conversation. You're being pretty hesitant. You know it needs to happen, and it's going to happen. Whether you're ready for it or not. And I don't think you're ready for it, and that's why you're so afraid. But you know what? It sets you free. This conversation, this situation, this communication, whether it's a conversation physically or something you need to face. Sometimes communication could be within ourselves. It could be a self-proclaimed conversation, and it sets you free. Like, when you face something, when you face the situation, when you take your power back, when you're like, no, you don't control me. Like, whether it's telling yourself, you don't, emotions don't control my thoughts don't control emotions. Like, when you do that about face and take yourself back, you find out that you were hesitant. That hesitation costs you time, it costs you emotion, it costs you It costs you things you cannot get back. You cannot get back time. You cannot get back feelings that you wasted on something. So just get to it. Put on the big girl panties and get this shit going, because you know what it does? It takes you away from having that anxiety. It reverses it. It lets you know, like, dude, you wasted all that. It's that typical situation of it was worse than you thought it was going to be, or it was not as bad as you thought it was going to be. You were making it out to be worse than it was. And you find that out. You find out, like, by facing this situation that you've been hesitant on, or that you're maybe even possibly avoiding. It could be a conversation with your lover, it could be a conversation with your parents, it could be a conversation with your boss. And like I said, it can also be a conversation with yourself where you got to face something, maybe past trauma, things like that, where we're like, no, 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 I'm lying, I'm letting it be deep seated because it's safe this way. Not always, because the more deep seated something is, the more we hide our traumas, the more we hide the truth about ourselves, is the more likely you are going to let that control you, but you're not even going to be conscious of it. It's going to control you from making decisions a specific way. It's going to control you from, making progress in your life a specific way, because you're always going to dance around the sidelines of safety instead of deep diving in and actually getting the maximum benefit. So that's what I'm seeing for you here, Aries, is you need to face the situation, because you know what? It's not as bad as you're making it out to be. And the more you hesitate, obviously, the more the situation is going to grow in intensity. So just go handle it. Alrighty. So there's your message for the week, Aries. Alrighty. So moving on to our Taurus gang. Tauruses, how the hell y'all doing? And I do have the Rebel Deck Couples Edition, and you'll be seeing that in the September reading. Don't worry, they're coming. Don't worry, they're coming. I'm gonna do like the singles and the singles and then couples readings with these. So that should be kind of cool. I know I didn't get to the bonus readings last month because like too much shit happened, and I was just like, you know what, I needed a break. Every time I went to go film or go live with them, it was like I started crying, so I couldn't do it. Like I was just like, this is just too much. Like I couldn't. I even had to cancel like my personal appointments with like readings and stuff, and I had a friend come help me out with those because it was just like I couldn't get connected. It was I've never had that happen, but like I said, I wasn't processing my grief at all. So yuppie yuppie. Taurus. What do we got here? Some good shit is about to happen. Well, who doesn't love some good shit? Don't let your issues fuck it up. See, that's what I mean. Like, when we don't resolve shit that we need to resolve, we end up letting it fuck stuff up, right? So, like I told you with Aries. But, when good stuff happens, it's ready to happen. The ball's going to come through. But if we're not in the right frame of mind, guess what we do? We sit there and we downplay it, or we question it. And yeah, it doesn't roll out the way it should roll out. It's not as joyous as it should be because we screw shit up in our heads. All right, so let's figure out where this is going. And I done turned my candle off. Look at that shit right there. The hell you can't do this without a little candle. What the heck? That's how we get our energy here. Come on, light my fire, baby. Come on. Don't be mean. Okay, there we go. We'll try this again. All right, Taurus. It's from when I shuffle, it'll blow the candle out. Plus, that one's like all melted. Da, 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 da. All right, you're letting your past things about relationships control you. Like you're letting failed relationships, failed commitment. And commitment doesn't have to be like relationships romantically. It can literally be like commitments in business, but I'm getting that it probably had to do with love life. All right. You're not as emotionally in control as you like to think you are. With that King of Cups in reverse, the emotional maturity, you haven't grown from the past issues. You've kind of just, dealt with it, dare I say, put it to the side. You didn't quite do the work. You didn't do the shadow work, and I get it. Shadow work fucking sucks. It's hard. You got to dig deep. You got to fucking cry a lot. You got to hate on shit, including yourself. You got to look in the mirror, deep, hardcore look in the mirror and deal with you. Deal with why certain things piss you off. Deal with why certain things make you cry. And, because nobody controls you but you. I can say, hold on, who's somebody in the chat I can pick on? Kill Hut. I can pick on Kill Hut because he knows I'm full of shit when it comes to picking on him because I love him. I could tell Kill Hut the reason why women don't want you is because you wear the same black fucking hat all the time. He doesn't, okay, but this is just an example. And that's my opinion. And we all know opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, right? But if I told him that's the reason why, and he actually sits there and plays with his own head and goes, well, I did wear this hat when I was dating such and such. I did wear this hat when I was talking to such and such. Hell, maybe I need a new hat. And Kill Hut goes out and buys a bright blue hat. And he's like, there, I've lost the stigma of the black hat. But he's still wearing it around and still being the same person he was when he wore the black hat. So he's like, wait a minute, girls still ain't talking to me and da 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 da. This is not the fucking black hat, is it? You know, and it's not just because I said it, it made him go out and buy a new hat. It made him try to change something about him. That black hat was his favorite hat. His best friend gave it to him, yada, yada, yada. But he went and he decided, I'm going to change that about me because somebody, one person said that was why. And he believed it. And issues from our past are the same way. You can actually condition yourself to think that you're the problem, or that person's inadequacies that you were dating or whatever, and told you, nobody's going to want you because you're fat. Nobody's going to want you because you're a slob. Nobody's going to want you because nobody's going to want you. You're nothing. You're nobody. And you sit there and you start believing that because people say that the present situations, proofs, present themselves as fact. And that's not the fucking truth. All right. Just because right now, let me give it to you right now. I might be a fat bitch right now, but when I was in my 20s, I was 120 pounds and I could wrap my legs around a fucking pole and make my bends on a Saturday night and stuff like that. I changed my life for me because somebody told me that if you were hot, that meant you were thin, that meant your hair was this color, that meant you were this and this and this. That meant you were hot, that meant you were likable, that meant everybody want you. No, that's a few people's perceptions. That's not the fucking truth. So I destroyed my body and my brain chasing the idea of what someone told me was beauty and power. All right. I mean, you guys have seen me. I'm not tiny. I'm a fat bitch. But I'm stronger and I'm more hardcore than I've ever been in my life. So, what did I say? Did Kill Hut say something?
He said, I'm secretly putting on my green hat.
I know. He's like, I'm going to burn that black hat. No, that's not why. But, hi, Wicked, bro. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm at a place where, do I like the way I look? No, because it's difficult to get used to changing your body because you carry it with you, 24/7. So it's difficult, when you go to a store and you're like, wait, that's not the size that I am, or you know what I mean? Like it's a mind fuck, you guys. And when you actually and you have to learn to be okay with it. You have to program yourself because we're basing ourselves off of magazines and perceptions and foul mouth ass people that run it too damn much. And they tell you you're only as good as what I say you are. Well, who the fuck died and made you God? Who are you? We're all humans wearing the same flesh suits. Some are bigger than others. Some are different colors. Some, smell better than others. Some, are hairier than others. Who cares? But, we're all people under the same frickin' sun. 9 billion planets out there and several universes and all this shit. And we had to choose one where assholes run around. All right, we had to choose one where these loudmouth, skin, nose-breathing motherfuckers run around and tell us, if you eat too many scones, you're a fat ass. We're all going to die eventually, right? But, how I feel about people. It's like, calm your tits, bro. Like, you don't know shit. You're just running around here like the rest of us. Like, give me a break. That's how I feel about people. Like, I mean, come on. You go onto YouTube and someone has an opinion, they think they're freaking God, right? And you sit there and go, you know damn well that, that's cute and all. But um you know damn well you lie. And that's how I feel. I smile and go, you know what, you do you, boo boo. But magazines same way, TV same way. They're like, oh, you can't be a large bodied person, or you can't be super thin, or you can't be this because nobody gonna watch you. Well, that's a damn fucking lie, because I know some buck teeth cross eyed people that are married, and happy as shit. And you know what? There is some people out there that love that about people. They love it, and that's fine, as you should. As you should. You should love each other. You should sit there and be like, there's nothing wrong with you because God made you that way. Ain't nothing the fuck wrong with you because God didn't make mistakes. We do. Remember that. Our egos are man made, not God made. And we make mistakes. We make bad judgment calls. We fuck up the game because we got free will and we do some shit with it, don't we? So my teeny tiny little ass is a roly poly mofo. And I dare anybody to come try to box my ass out. Cause I don't care. I will bite you. What? He's mad over here because I called myself roly poly. I am fat, okay? Get over it. Oh, whatever. He always tells me I'm not fat. I'm fat. I don't give a fuck.
Yo, Hut said apparently you can't be short either.
Why not?
I'm 5'8".
Who said you can't be short? You pint size. I think you're adorable. Who cares? Somebody talking shit, I'll slap them.
Adam says you're a voluptuous, gorgeous woman.
I can be. Oh, honey, I got more rolls than a freaking baker. You want cinnamon and sugar on yours? I mean, like, that's how I feel. And you know what? Mean old drunk, that's absolutely the truth. You know what? You get to a point where you're like, why did I care so much about superfluous opinions? So don't let your fucking issues fuck you up, because issues are man made. We make them, and we can grow them and we can destroy them. So you can set yourself free. When you find out the only thing keeping you in your prison is the perception that you're actually in one. All right. Some people are in physical prisons because they do shit that puts them in there. But when you're locking yourself in your mind to situations, all right, truth be told, hey, like I said, some bodies are bigger than others and they want to be thinner and they do things like crazy diets and using narcotics and things like that to get a smaller physique. For what? So that you can say that you're healthy or that you're better, but you're using all this stuff and you're destroying your body and your brain and all this other stuff. To what? To what advantage? And then when you're older, you're like, fuck, I wish I hadn't have done that. You might not regret the good times, but you are going to regret the times that you listened to somebody else and tried and did something for the sake of another person's pleasure besides your own. All right? That's like using a dildo that's fucking sharp at the tip and you're sitting there fucking yourself with it. Like, it's never going to be a good time. All right? You shut your mouth over there. I'm talking. This is my channel.
It says State Puff Marshmallow Woman. Adam says extra sugar, please.
Extra sugar. I have never been the State Puff Marshmallow Woman.
No, Vodka says she was.
Vodka can shut her freaking mouth saying that shit.
Shanny's in here.
Hi, my sis. Wait, where? I don't see her. There she is. Channy. But that's what we do. We let issues, man-made perceptions of false advocacies destroy us. All right? Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't sit there and run around. I said it was going to be explicit tonight, but you know what I mean? Like, why would you take something that ain't going to pleasure you and try to pretend it does? I mean, give me a fucking break. I've seen too many people do this. All right? And it's like you're willing to do anything for the perception of somebody else, including destroy yourself. Nah, in Spanish we say nada que ver. Don't do that shit. Fuck them. Go have a beer, turn on some freaking what do I watch all the time? Discovery Plus. Discovery Plus. That shit's like porn sometimes. I sit there and watch that and make me happy again. Because I'll watch a damn good documentary and I'll get all empowered.
You can't breathe. You can't.
Hey, if I'm making Kill Hut feel better, because that little motherfucker came back to YouTube strong. He had like Viagra type intentions with YouTube. He ready to fuck everything up. Somebody revive that fool. I think I killed it. I don't know if they make blow up dolls for women. I know they make like those robotic sex dolls for women. And can you bring me a paper towel? This like soda's like going crazy over here with like the condensation. I got a puddle between my legs from the soda. Oh, it's fart. You guys want to see how big fart has gotten? He was playing with what? Oh, he was. You want to see how big this little brat has gotten? Like, I think I overfed him. Look at him. He's huge. No, go say hi to everyone. There he is. Say hi. Hi. Go play. Go play and be a good kitty. We'll get down this damn line of places eventually, right? So anyway, anywho, Gemini. I think you want this one, don't you? One day we're gonna have to do the readings for just the people in the chat. Like, just straight up go down the list and give everyone a personal reading. Because as much as I love doing the all signs readings, sometimes I just have more fun hanging out with you guys. All right. Just see what, because sometimes we need a little boost. I know I have all the stuff in my description box for booking personal readings, but, not everybody can always afford a personal reading. Sometimes somebody just needs something to get them through the next day. Because I've been there. I've been there where my anxiety is so fucked up that I can't even get through the next 30 minutes, And sometimes just a little personal guidance, it helps. So we'll work that out. I'm probably going to do something like that. I know I have it scheduled in my mind anyway, to do some in October. Squeeze, huh? You need a big fucking hug. Thank you. Let's all take a hug moment. Let's all hug. Everybody in the chat, hold on to each other. Grab a hand. Let's all hug. Grab a shoulder. Tell the person next to you a good thing about them. Tell the person below you one good thing about them. All right, you need a fucking hug. And there's your squeeze. All right, Gemini, what's going on in this situation? Like, you need to, sometimes we need to ask for love. We need to ask people, like, and doesn't that sound weird that we actually, like, the people say, like, you shouldn't have to ask for someone to care about you. Well, let me break it to you all like this. Jen loves everybody. Your tarot loves all of you. Every single one of you. Even if you're an asshole, I still love you. And because I even tell my enemies, I don't want anything bad happening to you. I just don't want anything to do with you. But let me break it to you like this. Sometimes we have to remind even our friends, even the people close to us, I'm hurting too. I'm hurting right now. And I know I just went through that not that long ago, like last week, where I was like, I'm hurting so bad and I don't know how to say I'm hurting. It's ingrained in me from my military father and the fact that I'm East Indian. Like, you don't ask for anything. You don't show emotions. You never show because it's weakness and blah, 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 blah. Well, that's kind of bullshit. All right. Sometimes life just sucks. And our friends are busy. They're doing things. They're manifesting their dreams and they're on a good path, and family too and all that. And you have to sometimes say, have you got 10 minutes for me? Because I just need 10 minutes. Maybe, whatever the case may be. Well, a bunch of shit just fell out right over there. All right, let's figure this out here. And sometimes you got to remind them. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing fucking wrong with that. Nothing wrong with reminding some people, like, hey, I know I look strong as fuck all the time, but I'm really not. All right, so Two of Cups to Justice in reverse with the Tower card. Okay, something that you've been working really hard. You've been really wanting something to work. You really, You were really trying, really, really hard, Gemini. You've been working your ass off, and it's like you're pissing in the wind, is what you feel like with this Tower card and the Eight of Pentacles. See how he's like focused and he's working so hard, and then with the Tower card, you see all this like lightning and disaster. It's like this is chaotic, destructive energy, and this is somebody hyper focused, working as hard as they can. Like you are literally trying to put up plywood around your house when there's a fucking tornado coming. All right, that's how you're feeling. Like you're just like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, even though this destruction is happening around you. And it's like, you know what, you're willing to do whatever it takes to make something work, even when things are against you and out of your favor. You're like, I'm willing to try no matter. This is somebody, this is a Gemini or Geminis that are like, when they said their vows, like in the sense of a marriage, when they made their commitment, when they made their promise, they actually fucking meant it. Like, you know how people say, like, through sickness and health, till death do us part. That's what this is. This is somebody that's like, I don't care how bad it gets. I don't care. I'm going to hold up. I'm going to keep trying. I don't care who, no matter what anybody says, no matter what the books say, no matter what the people say, no matter how just devastating this can get. I promised, I made my bond. And the universe is saying you really, really need a hug right now. And I think that's the God's honest truth. You do. Like a person who does that, people that do this, and I know a lot of them, where they sit there and they're like, I don't give a shit if all I have is one bucket of water for this entire forest fire. I'm going to use that bucket of water. I don't care if it doesn't do anything and it's all I've got. I'm going to put that forth because I love, I respect, I'm in this. And that person might not be getting enough credit for what they're doing. Maybe the world doesn't even know that's what they're doing, because this person is hyper focused, right? So they're not really, asking of anything and not expecting of anything, but, they're just doing what they promised. And, you know, it's okay to need a hug. It's okay to need the gesture that you're a part of something, all right? That you're loved. And that's what I'm seeing from this right here for you, Gemini. You need a big fucking hug. You need people to love you for all you're doing in this situation. All right? And it's okay to have that. So, you know what, if maybe friends haven't been available, just tell them. Just make that phone call and say, "Hey, it's me and I need you. I need you to be my friend for 10 minutes or for the evening or whatever, and I need to know, I need someone to remind me that I'm a person in this world." It's okay to need that. It literally is okay to need that.
Marianne said, yeah, personal readings with the chat room instead of bonus videos for either October or September.
Ooh, we could do that. Cancer. I'd say fuck it, let's abate this shit and do that, but we already started and I'm a committed ass Capricorn, so. Because I like the Rebel deck for that reason, how it calls out real world shit. You know what I mean? Like, it really does call out those real world moments, and it puts it into that perspective of like almost like a emotional face slap where it's like, yeah, it hit me where I needed to be hit. It hit that spot. It tickled that itch, and to where sometimes tarot readings or even oracle readings can, they're too gentle, or they're too like, it's like a doctor speaking to you in a language that you're like, uh-huh, and what does that mean in layman's terms? Like, and these kind of hit that layman terms itch. So that's kind of why I like this deck. And if you are a person that goes on Kickstarter, I believe, I don't remember the date. I think it's September 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, where the 5-year anniversary Kickstarter edition of the deck will be ready on Kickstarter, and you can back it on there. Love. And it's glittery and shit. I'm so excited. Okay. So, Cancer. Love. Give some, get some, give some. It will cheer your ass up. All right. So maybe you're in a position just like, Gemini, where you need some love in your life. All right. If you're single, maybe it's like you need to go lighten yourself up and go on a date, and be nice to other people. In order to get love, you kind of have to give it, so be nice to people and nice comes back to you. Imagine that shit. All right, let's get some clarifiers on this. All right. You're so hyper focused on the future. Ain't that cute? All right. You're so hyper focused on the future, but you're not worried about happiness. I wonder why. Let's see if it'll give us something. Well, we'll take that one because it wanted to come out. All right. Feeling like, wishes are not going to be fulfilled either way. Like you're wishful thinking, but it's not including love. That's what I'm getting for this. Like you're focused on maybe like career or just a component outside of love, whether romantic or what have you. But you're like, yeah, you know what? I just it's not for me. Like I think you've moved emotionally on from it because you've had such bad experiences. But if you're not going to give love a chance, how is love going to give you a chance? All right. So it's got to be something that you want, it's got to be something that you have that deep conversation with yourself and is like, what have I done to make love want to stay away? What have I done to make love not. Okay. Um, what have I done that's made love want to avoid me? So you have to consider all that. And well, hello, Tarot Destroyer. Did you need a hug tonight? Did you need somebody to give you attention? Is that why you're here? That's adorable. Why don't you go take a seat in the candy ass corner where dumb bitches can, cry about, nobody giving a fuck about them. Enjoy. Toodles. And so, anyway, I'm going to go back to my demon cards real quick, okay? Because, my demonic fucking ass over here. I love when people call me a goddamn demon. Huh. Shows what they know. So, you got to figure out what you've done to love to make love kind of turn its back on you. And it's a matter of, if you put negative out, what happens? Negative kind of comes back to you. If you put out like, I don't want, guess what the universe does? It shows you more of, like, well, you didn't want it, so that's why it didn't show up. And that's how I see it. And I think that in the realm of law of attraction, supply and demand, that type of situation, um that's why we like most of those people that say like I don't want something is because they have an experience that they compare themselves to or they envision themselves in that had a negative connotation, and therefore they took that component out. All right. But at some point they will sit there and go, could this be for me? And if you can still keep going on and saying like this just really isn't for me, this really isn't fitting where my journey is, that's fine. Continue on your path. Not everything's for everyone. But there's some people that, dare I say, bitterness comes into play because they're like, yeah, I would love to have that deep down. They would love to have it, but it's like just so much bad has happened when they tried to get it that they've just said it's not for me. So, what's the matter?
Wow.
What?
This person keeps going.
Are they still going?
Oh yeah, she's like, I just reported your ass.
I don't give a fuck.
Your skanky ass within 24 hours would be against you.
I don't give a shit. Try me, bitch.
International network, some shit.
Really? You think I'm afraid of you? That's cute. That's real fucking cute. Um, keep trying. Keep reporting. Go for it. Because guess what happens? Your shit gets terminated. Because I know way too many people that work for Google. So don't waste your time. But yeah, that's what we get when people want attention. Cute ass little trolls. Yeah. I bet if she showed up with like a gem in her belly button and like wild and crazy hair that stands up, like she'd grant wishes or something. Oh, you're gonna report my channel. That's so cute. That's so cute. I'm gonna get my channel reported. Some international bureau against demons or some shit. Sheesh. Everybody wants their fucking 15 seconds of attention. You know what? If you got daddy issues, take it up with your dad. Like, don't come to my chat and cry about it. I didn't do it. Hold on. Where's Tarot Destroyer? Let's do a little reading for Tarot Destroyer. Let's find out why Tarot Destroyer is such a dirty little bitch. Let's find out. This ought to make them happy. They don't like the tarot. Well, here, let me do a nice little freaking reading for you there, Tarot Destroyer. You want some tarot up in your ass? Here, I got some tarot up in your ass. Why is Tarot Destroyer? Oh, look, it's a little rebel. Oh, so, yeah, of course she is. Because fuck it, because they don't care. You know why people don't care? You know why people don't care? Because people don't care about them. And this is the only way that they can try to sit there and lie to people. It's the only way they can feel relevant. Got your name, hon? Got your name, Tarot Destroyer? Got your name right here? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Let's do a little more. Let's do a little more for Tarot Destroyer. Let's give her that 15 minutes. They, them, whoever. Let's give them that little 15-minute of demonic action that they crave, because they're the ones that showed up in my shit. I didn't show up in theirs, but let's go ahead and give it to them. Let's go ahead. Come on now. What's going on with Tarot Destroyer? Why are they so nasty and inconsiderate and needing attention so bad? Looks like they can't balance their own damn life. Looks like, you know what? Hey, maybe they're one of those people that found out that happiness isn't in their fucking future because they can't balance their shit. Sound like you, Tarot Destroyer? Yeah, I bet it does. Don't fuck with somebody that's been around too damn long and knows too damn many people. I'll go suck a metaphysical dick and have a good night. Leo. Our wonderful Leos. Let's see what the Leos got going on. Let's see what the Leos got going on. Let's see what the Leos got going on. Don't worry, a few other trolls will show up. And I'll smash that spider so the rest of their friends can see what happens too. What?
My virgin ears.
Wait a minute here. Leo, you do you. Stop trying to change people. That shit never works. Ain't that the fucking truth? What?
And I just said, and we're back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, somebody flip that little, like, intermission screen. Tarot Destroyer. Could at least have come up with a better name. I mean, shit. Creativity wasn't your forte, huh? Don't worry, they'll make another channel in about 10 seconds anyway. It'll be like Tarot and Tea Sucks or some shit like that because they fucking couldn't get past kindergarten or something. You got new beginnings. I mean, you got some good shit coming. You just got to get out of your head a little bit there, Leo. I know you want something to be what you want it to be, but you know what? It's really not going to be that way. All right? You got to free yourself from saying that if it was only this way, then I would be 100% happy. If they would only do this, then the ultimate happiness could happen. Everything would be great. If only they'd stop drinking, if only they'd stop doing this, blah, blah, blah. They'll do it if and when they fucking want to. All right? That's when it'll happen. All right? But, it won't happen if they are forced. It never works that way. Like, I understand pressure makes diamonds, but human beings, even though we are made up of a lot of carbon, when you squeeze us to fucking death, guess what happens? We just die. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work trying to make somebody into something by pressure, or by ultimatum or anything like that. You really got to just let people be them. And if it doesn't fit your vibe, then you move on, and hey, maybe one day they'll see the sun come up a different way, and they'll want that change. And if and when you want to still invite that in, then you can. But if not, then some people are a door and some people are a window. And Sometimes the windows you open just to let the breeze in and the sun shine through, and you close them, and that's it. Some people are a door, and they are something that opens you up to a different space. And you just kind of gotta let people be what they are and go from there. Alrighty. So that's that, Leo. Moving along to our wonderful Virgos. These cards just sounded like they had a big ass wet fart right now. That was like the weirdest sounding shuffle. I like the way shuffles sound. Sounded weird. There we go. Bam. All right. Virgo. There you go. Be fucking grateful. Shit could be much worse. Shit could be so much worse. That's true, right? No matter how bad the situation is, trust me, something that's bad can always get worse. So keep that in mind. Some could always get worse. Talk about a way to humble yourself, huh? Alrighty. Let's see what it's talking about here, Virgo. Let's get some extra direction. Alrighty. Page of Swords in reverse. You're not letting your mind get out of things too easy, but you know what? It's what's keeping you from getting overwhelmed. I get that. But it's also keeping you from enjoying things. Like, you're really locking yourself down. You're bogging yourself down with thoughts of like, I can't really free myself from what's going on. I can't really get past it. And it's like, what, it could be worse. So that alone is a key to unlocking your prison. But yeah, you're going through some shit where you're like, I'm not, the struggle is all in your mind because you got that Page of Swords right there. And that Page of Swords is really letting you know, or it's really representing you in the sense of like, you don't really know how bad it could possibly be, but you're like living in the worst case scenario aspect of all this. And it's really not letting you enjoy a fucking thing. And you really need to stop doing that. Like, just literally flip that switch. And I know, easier said than done. But is it? Is it really, like, if it's not even happening that way, if it's not even coming to fruition, like, why are you living like it has? Like, why are you living like, Armageddon happened? It didn't. So that's literally, like I said, like flipping that switch. Like, make the best out of everything. I mean, wake up in the morning and smile and be like, you know what? I could have like, nobody fucking give a shit about me. I could be one of those people that die in the desert somewhere and have the buzzards pick at me. You know, I could be going through that, but you're not. um, like I said, of all the planets in the world, this is the one, in the world, in the universe, this is the only one that sits here and puts humans on it to sit here and pick ourselves apart. You know, isn't that interesting? How this is the one planet in all of the galaxies that, supposedly humans exist on or races exist on. And this is the one that gives you a freaking 40-hour a week job, and determines your status quo and your ranking and your, your suitabilities and stuff like that. Oh, Lord. But free yourself from it by not allowing it to reside in your brain in a way that confines you and defines you instead of freeing you and allowing you. All right. So, and there might be a Virgo out there that is struggling with their job, and that's why I said what I said. All right. So next we have our wonderful Libras. Libra, Libra, Libra. It's dark and you can't see a fucking thing. Get your head out of your ass pronto. Well, yeah, if you had it up there, it would be pretty dark. I would imagine, you know. Not a whole lot of light there. That's why they call it the place where the sun don't shine. I mean, that makes sense. That's logical. And we can stick our head up our ass over all kinds of shit. So we can sit there and have our head up our ass over the fact that our cookies didn't bake properly, or, you know, that you didn't get something the way you wanted it, or, you know, life sucks, you know, and all that other shit, right? Page of Pentacles. Opportunities. Okay. It looks to me here, Libra, you're trying to find your place in something. There's that little voice that's telling me, like, you know, has the world forgotten about, like, what I'm supposed to be doing, or giving me the opportunities that it gives other people, or, you know, what is that placeholder? And it's like, it's because the universe has already rang that doorbell, and the universe already told you what you're supposed to be doing, but you kept doing it in the way that fit your narrative and fit your ego, and you didn't quite listen, or you didn't sign for the package, you know, whatever the case may be. But you already know. Like, if you dig down deep and get a little more profound with yourself, you already know. And the thing is, you were so, like, carefree about it when it first showed up with that Fool card, that it's like, you know, you needed to be more thoughtful on it. And even though it's like, okay, yay, you know, the hindsight's 2020, and you probably already know this, and you're like, now what? Okay, well, it's not like the package never went away. It's still sitting at your doorstep. So go back and deal with it. You know, go back and do your shadow work. Go back and deal with the fact that, you know, you already know what you're supposed to be doing. You already know your opportunities. You already know your placements. So go ahead and you know, there's no time like the present. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm too old. I can't do this. I'm too old for this. You know, no, if you want to dye your hair fucking pink and you're 70 years old, dye your fucking hair pink. If it makes you happy, go do it. If you want to learn a new trade, go do it. There's always an opportunity. It's how bad do you want it? How bad is it that you can't conceive another moment of your life without this being a part of you? You know, how bad? And until that is an existing term for you, like you cannot conceive another moment of your life without this component being a part of you, being in existence to you, then, you know, when that happens, then you'll know because you'll be hyper fixated on it, and you'll be like, no, this is me. This is what makes me come to life. And when you realize that, when you open that package and you're like, yes, you know, the opportunity has no choice but to present itself to you. It has no choice but to manifest in your world, you know. It's because you've set it into play. Like, you know, no matter how bad somebody wants it, you know, I'm going to get it. It's not a situation of want or need. It's a situation of have and will. So consider that. Consider that. You got to get your head out of your ass, though. Things don't happen to people that can't see them happening. So there you go. Alrighty, Scorpio. I know there was at least one Scorpio in the damn chat. Here we go. You are giving away your power. What? A Scorpio giving away their power? You're a badass. Act like it. Okay. There might be a moment where even Scorpios have their off days, right? Let's get some clarifiers. Seven of Swords. Three of Swords. So a lot of mental energy here. Why are you letting shit break your heart? Why are you letting shit control your head is controlling your emotions again, is what I'm seeing. Huh. Seven of Swords. So it's like you're no longer in that stage of feeling like stuff's being taken from you. You've given up what you've lost in some aspect. You're like, you're letting things go and you're okay with it, but it's still hurting. You're going through the process. But you are moving forward, and in moving forward, it's like, you know what? There comes a point where we have to accept that our lives move on from things. Our lives change. And sometimes you can feel like that stranger in a new world. And that can suck, that can literally suck the life out of you. And that's what I'm seeing is like, getting past feeling like, like you've given up for the sake of something new, or you've given up for the sake of another, or things like that, and you're like, you know what, it's really drained me, and people don't understand how, I feel in this, because you kind of feel like a stranger, that they can't relate. In other words, you feel like your emotions and thoughts are almost, contrast to everybody else, because sometimes we can feel like that stranger in a new world. And in that case, you're like, I've always got to put on the armor and move forward. And sometimes we don't want to have to be that strong all the time. We don't want to have to be the strong person. We don't want to have to be the one that, is always armed and ready for battle, because everything seems like a battle. But right now you are really letting stuff get to you. And some of the stuff is kind of superficial, because you truly giving something up? No, it's just changing. And change can sometimes mislead us into thinking like you've given it up, when no, you've just added to. You see what I'm saying there, Scorpio? So, don't give away your power. Don't give away the idea of something. Don't say that you've lost or you're giving up. Just say like, no, it's sometimes it's the way we talk to ourselves is the way we train our brain, right? Well, not sometimes, most of the time. And if you tell yourself like, I'm giving this up, not, I'm not going to have any longer, yeah, that's going to bring around some foreboding and forlorning and things like that. So if you literally tell yourself, like, no, nobody's giving up shit. I'm literally just expanding, my horizons. I'm expanding my plate. I'm expanding my table. I'm expanding things. I take all that with me, every step I take. Then guess what? You become enriched instead of depleted. So just consider that, Scorpio. Alrighty. Yeah, Miss Capricorn yet. What else we got here? Who went to bed? Okay, good night, Kill Hut. Don't forget to take your black hat off. Alrighty, I dropped a card, so I have to pick that up. Woo! Been a long day. Alright, so Sagittarius. Our good old Saggies. Alrighty. We have, you got a feeling you just can't shake. That little voice inside of you. Listen to that shit. Okay, that's called intuition sometimes. So, but just make sure it's not ego. So if you're thinking about the past, that's ego. If it's just something that comes to you out of nowhere, that's intuition. So remember that. If you base something off of past, that's ego talking to you. And that can be pretty darn misleading. There's no room for ego and intuition. But if it's just something that came out of nowhere and you're like, what is this? That is your intuition talking to you. So let's see what it is talking about. Something not being fair, huh? Okay, something that... You know that something is probably going to go in a direction you don't want it to go. But you know what? It opens up new opportunity. It opens up new availabilities. It opens up new possibilities. So, if even though you're going through something you don't really want to be going through, you're making a choice you don't really want to make on the upfront, it's one choice that allows for multiple choices, all right? And it's telling you like, it's okay to go forward. It is okay to let go of something from the past in order to allow new things in. It is telling you, like, don't worry about what you're seeing right now. All right. Because under the veil is something different. All right. So that's kind of what it's, a leading to. All righty. And I think that's pretty much the message I got for that. And it's short, simple, and sweet, right? Sometimes that happens. So we are going to pull for our wonderful Capricorns. Capricorn, 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 corn. It's corn. Alrighty. Get over yourself and pull your shit together. Help people. Give back. Do good shit for humanity. Alright, stop focusing on your own damn self so much. Sometimes shit ain't always about you. Tell that to a Capricorn and see how far you go. But it's true though. I mean, sometimes we can get really fixed on ourselves, and it's, this is an abrupt way of saying it, but sometimes it's like, you got to make room for others. Apply that how you will. Still feeling old wounds. Still focused on old wounds. I mean, you're trying to go forward in the best situation you can, in the best way that you can. And you're doing that fake it until you make it thing, And in that, you're not considering of others, all right? Sometimes you have to, in order to heal, we have to heal with others. We have to heal around others. We have to be vulnerable. Sometimes our messages of healing and strength can be shared to help enrich others, and that's how we enrich ourselves and how we heal ourselves. So there are times where I know, even I'm guilty of this, where I'm like, why do people always have to go and do their TED Talks about like all the shit they've been through? Don't they understand we all go through some shit? It's not even about that. Like I used to have that mentality, like hardcore. I had that mentality. It's like, yeah, we all go through stuff. Like, why do people have to like lay all their business out and blah blah blah, and and it happens a lot, especially on YouTube where people are like, I'm gonna go tell everybody what's going on, and there's gonna be like a good chunk of people, a huge chunk of people that are gonna say, like, don't tell people like your business and stuff like that. And that is true. You shouldn't always do that, okay? But if you give yourself time, don't come at something hot. Come at something when you're not upset about it. Come back to that when people aren't, like, when you have evolved from it and through it and with it. Come back to that situation, and like when you can come at it constructively of yourself and the situation in and of itself, when you can come back to it at that point, yes, you can then deliver that message a lot more soundly than you could just when you came at it because you were pissed or for resolutionary purposes. I know, trust me when I say I've done it. All right. You ever done something where you're like, it sounded good at the time. I got to run my mouth at the time, but then you think back on it and you're like, ah, shit, I shouldn't have said that. That's why. Just give yourself that time to really, process through things. But as a Capricorn, sometimes we can be so hyper focused on what we're going through, our healing, our own sense of self. Because most of the time, most of the Capricorns I've ever met have been their own cheerleaders. And when we're your own cheerleader, it's difficult to consider, like, we don't, it's not that we don't consider others, it's difficult to almost relate to having others cheer you on. Like, we don't know if we're doing it right, we don't know like how we're doing it right, we just know that we're giving it our best. And we judge ourselves even in that realm. So when we try to give back to others and we try to have consideration of others in our space, it's like it can sometimes seem and feel foreign. All right. It can sometimes seem and feel like, it's not necessarily intrusive, but it's just something we're not accustomed to sometimes. But yet there are times where we overly give, where we are overly considerate, where we're like, I know what it feels like to not have, therefore you should always have so you can be enriched. It's an active balance that we're always constantly going through. So that's what I got for you, Capricorn. I know. I know. Our Capricorn messages are never like, unicorn farts and roses and moonbeams, right? All right, Aquarius. Our wonderful Aquarius. What have we got going on for our Aquariuses? Now is not the fucking time. Whatever you are thinking about, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, I get you. I get you. So that's a big fat no, Aquarius. Don't. That's a no, 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 no. Don't you like it when the universe flat out tells you that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing? These damn cards tend to fall off the table when they want to. Maybe it's not the best time for you to like try testing the waters of your relationships. Like people that, situations that you really, really care about, or you thought you're bonded to and stuff like that. Don't let your mind wander a whole lot. Now is not the time to, okay, if there's an Aquarius out there that's thinking about getting a little freaky sneaky in between the cheekies with somebody else, that ain't your man or your woman or your person, you gonna get caught and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be bad. Um, but to the Aquarius that's thinking about getting back with an ex, because that ex has shown his or her or they or them or whatever has shown their little fucking ass back up and has decided that they wanted to give you some damn attention. Um, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Wait and see. Mercury retrograde is on the horizon. So why would we be trying to get back with exes at this time? No, we don't do that. We don't talk to exes during Mercury retrograde, even in the preseason, which is what we're kind of in right now. Because that's all smoke and mirrors and they tend to walk their asses off eventually anyway. So, Pisces. Pisces. All right, let's get a message for Pisces. Fuck it, shit's about to get real. Oh, well, when's it not? You need your people around you. Okay, cool. Well, there's a message right there. So you're not feeling that good and you need to communicate that with people. We talked about that earlier. Communicating with people when we know that we're not doing so well. And you need help working through whatever the shit is that you got going on. And this is a good time to reach out to friends, family, people that care about you, that have your best interest at heart. Don't feel like they aren't, just because they're not the ones that are reaching out first. Don't feel that they don't care, because sometimes people don't always reach out first because they don't want to burden you. They don't want to like make something out to be more than what it is, or they don't want to be intrusive. They don't want you to think like, "Oh no, you're just overthinking it. That's really not how I'm feeling." And you know what I mean? They sometimes they take their steps back for their own reasons, and sometimes literally maybe they're, off doing their own thing and they didn't quite notice as much as they should have, or maybe you just hit it well enough. So sometimes you got to be the person that, if you're one of those that never asks for help, and that type of situation where you're always trying to say I'm good, I'm good, people listen to that. They sit there and go, well, I don't want to like try to pry, because I don't want to make them feel like, that they're not enough on their own. And that can mean that people will tend to, kind of wait to see if you need some assistance, and they'll wait for you to speak it out, because you may have said, if I need you, I'll tell you, right? And we've often said that if I need something, I'll let you know. So people sometimes, especially as adults, we kind of wait for that cue, because we don't want to be smothering, and we don't want to make you feel like you're inadequate, and we don't all that stuff. Like, it's difficult nowadays. People are so consumed with, if you don't do this X, Y, and Z, then you're not enough. So people want to do the X, Y, and Z on their own. They want to be strong enough. They want to be seen as, good enough. They want to be seen with equality and things like that. And sometimes we sink our own battleships doing that. So right now, Pisces is a good time to forget all that ego and just be like, hey, you want to come have, coffee with me and just be around me, because I'm going through a really fucking shitty time. You know, Maybe you feel like you might be burdening somebody by doing that. And trust me, your friends are there for that reason. They don't care if you burden them sometimes. If shit's really bad enough, they're not going to care. They're going to be there for you. But go to the friends that you know that you can trust with your life. Don't just go to people because they say they're going to be there for you and they want to hear your shit, because, idle, not all ears. Not all ears are your friends, right? All right. Not all ears are safe, all right? So, those idle people can be like devil's toys, right? So just be careful. Make sure that these are people that you have built up a strong rapport with, and they don't run around, and say the things that you don't want spread around, that they are literally going to have that one on one conversation that doesn't extend beyond the boundaries of the two of you or the group of you or whatever. So when it comes to being very vulnerable, know who you can be vulnerable with, know who you can suffer with. All right. A lot of people don't know that anybody can be your friend when the good times roll. It's easy. Just like you can be in a relationship with anybody, as long as you got enough money, you got a decent house, you got all the shit you want. Anybody can be in a good relationship, right? As long as things are great between you, the relationship's great, right? But if you start having issues, or they start having issues, deaths in the family, bad business, drama, yada yada, when they're in a nasty place, when the world has presented them a big plate of shit and they're not doing well, you need to know who you need to be in that placement for them, right? I'm just going to say it like that. You need to know who you need to be for that person, whether it's a friend, lover, family member, whatever. And if you don't know how to be that person for them, or they push you away because they don't suffer with other people, they suffer internally, and you feel that you're an inadequate function to them, then guess what? Now you're both suffering on opposite ends of the spectrum, and it makes for disaster. Find someone you can suffer well with. Find that person that you can relate to in the bad times, and know, who's going to hold who accountable in this situation, who's going to hold the other person's strength. Basically, who's going to hold your hair back when you puke and not be the person taking selfies at the same time. You get what I'm saying? All right, that's the type of person you need to go out and, make sure that You've got that rapport. All right. Well, my wonderful tea leaves. That is all 12 signs of the zodiac, plus a special reading for our dear, wonderful friend, the Tarot Destroyer. And which, you know what, Tarot Destroyer, I love you, sweetheart. You're welcome back anytime you want, as long as you behave. And, you know, I'll buy you a beer next time, all right? How's that sound? And other than that, y'all stay happy, stay blessed. Know that shit can always get worse. It can, it's so, don't worry about it. Just make it better, all right? It don't take nothing to make shit better. And if you can't make it better, make yourself better. That works too, right? And you know me, I will always be here for anybody that needs a word, needs the kindness, needs the strength. You know, it don't matter. I'm not here to judge no fucking buddy. So,
Don't forget about tomorrow.
what's tomorrow?
Videos, live stream. I'm not sure if you're doing a live stream or not.
Well, I know. I think, didn't I mention that at the beginning?
Did you? I don't know.
Okay. Fluff's over here trying to be a scorekeeper. He said, "Don't forget to tell them about tomorrow." And I was like, "Didn't I already do that?" But yeah, so there might be a live on location tomorrow. It depends. I know that Mr. Dom 13 Spirits really likes the live on locations, as do a few people have asked me when's my next one. So if I'm at a specific location tomorrow and I have the ability after I do my 15-minute alone challenge with the paranormal games, I might do a live on location. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, my loves. So, you guys, don't forget to fucking hug each other. Don't forget to love each other. Don't forget to hear somebody out in their entirety. All right. Don't forget to let people be who they are and understand them for who they are, you know, good and bad. All right. There's too much there's too much in this world that, you know, don't live your life in regret. All right, that's all I gotta say. Don't live your life in regret. Just love yourself and, you know, love each other and be like, you know what, even if you don't fit into my life anymore, that's okay. You know what, just I wish you the best. And, you know, we want everybody to eat. May not eat at our table, but we want them to eat, right? So just carry that. Carry that in your heart and in your head, even when people make your life difficult. Carry that in your heart and in your head. Just be like, you know what, this is an outward manifestation of your inward inadequacies of some sort, and I pray to God, you know, or the higher powers, that that can be fulfilled, kind of like with Tarot Destroyer. Anybody that sits around and goes into people's streams and does and runs their mouth like that is, it's like I said, it's an outward manifestation of an inward inadequacy, and so we pray for people like that, don't we? All right. So many prayers to you, Mr. Tarot or Mrs. Tarot Destroyer, whoever the fuck you are. But as for the rest of my beautiful tea leaves, I thank you so, so much for being here. And even though it was kind of, you know, last week we didn't do a reading, and this week here we are. And but there will be more coming forward this month, and even into next month you will see a lot more stuff coming forward. I've got a whole bunch of tarot decks to review. And when I say a whole bunch, there is a stack of about 20 over there from the last 2 months. It is insane. All right, my loves. Enjoy the beginning of your September. Enjoy the messages. Apply them if they work for you. If they resonate, cool. If they don't worry about it. It's just some cards, right? Some cards with some freaking ink. All right. I love you all. Stay blessed. And until next time, I will see you sometime between now and forever. Stay blessed.